Good morning, Mrs. Gray. My name is Lucille. I am a student nursing assistant from Access Careers, and I'm here today, Mrs. Gray, to change your linens. Are you comfortable?
Yes.
I'll be stepping out of the room to wash my hands and gather my supplies. Is there anything you need while I'm still here in the room or want? Should you need something once I leave the room, your call bell is right here. Just ring it and someone will come in to assist you. And I am out of here. I wash my hands. I'm going to take a barrier. I'm going to put my bottom sheet. No, it's my make sure it's my bottom sheet. My bottom sheet, my top sheet, my pillowcase. I'm going to go and get maybe another 2 barriers. And look at the way that I am walking into the room. Not like this. This is an automatic failure. I'm holding it away from me. Knock, knock. I'm back, Mrs. Jones. These are the linens that I'll be changing your bed with. I'm going to just put them down for now because before we begin, I need to check your name band. My table would be here, correct? Look what I'm doing with this. I am flipping them over. Because what is the first sheet that I'm going to use? The fitted sheet. I collected it in the order that I would be using it. But when I finished, what did I have on the top first? My pillowcase. Am I using that first? No. So I flip it. I put it on the table here. Mrs. Jones, may I please check your name band? Can you please tell me your full name? Thank you, Mrs. Jones. Mrs. Jones, I'm going to provide some privacy for you. And I am now going to pick up my side rail. Okay, Mrs. Jones, we're almost ready to begin. I'm going first, Mrs. Jones, to raise your bed to my waist level. It's much more comfortable for me to work with you this way. And then, Mrs. Jones, once I've raised the bed to my waist level, I will have to lower the head of the bed, but that will just be until I finish making your bed. And then I'll put the head of the bed right up. Are you comfortable, Mrs. Jones? Okay, let's get that head down. Okay, this will go where? In the garbage. Okay. Mrs. Jones, I'm going to put your call bell just here until I'm finished. I'm going to lower your sheet. Once I'm down here, ladies, look what I'm going to do. I'm just going to give a little tug at the bottom sheet. Okay. Okay, Mrs. Jones. What I'm going to ask you to do now is to bend your knees so your feet are flat on the mattress, and put your hands flat on the mattress, and on the count of 3, I'm going to ask you to move all the way towards me. I am in the middle of your body. You will be safe. I will make sure that you're safe and comfortable. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Come over a little bit more. Okay. Now, Mrs. Jones, I'm going to ask you to please put your legs down and cross them and give yourself a big teddy bear hug. Okay. My right hand is going on your shoulder. My left hand is going on your hip. And on the count of 3, Mrs. Jones, I'm going to turn you onto your right side. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. And I turn her. The first thing I do, we are never supposed to ever turn a patient away from us. Never. We're supposed to always do everything, something like this or anything we're doing where the patient has to turn, we're supposed to turn them towards us. Why? So we can see their face. But Everybody does this. It's easier this way. So the first thing I'm asking, are you comfortable, Mrs. Jones? She tells me yes. Mrs. Jones, can you just raise your head a minute? I want to get the pillow a little bit more comfortable for you. Okay. One of the reasons I'm moving that pillow is because I want room to see what I'm doing here. But I want her to be comfortable too. Next, I am going to cover her. She needs to be covered. But I also need to see what I'm doing. So it's freezing in here, isn't it? Okay, let me just lower this a little. Oh, turn into an ice cube. I don't want that cold. Oh. No, come back, come back, come back. Oh.
He's sleeping over there.
Okay, we're getting there, we're getting there. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, good. So, I have her turned away from me. I get her pillow comfortable. This sheet is not like this. It's alongside of her body, because I have to see what I'm doing. Now you always start at the top of the bed. I know I gave this a little pull, but I didn't go like this. I didn't shove it under there. I just gave it a little pull. Now I'm taking this sheet and I am putting this under her. I may have to move this around. Watch, I'm tucking it under her. Now I'm taking my fitted sheet. Is this a fitted sheet? I'm taking my fitted sheet, it's not folded correctly, and I'm going to do one corner. I'm doing one corner under the mattress. And I'm going, forget about all this, I'm just going down to put the other corner in. I'm not worried about anything else except getting the two corners in. Once my two corners are in, then I'm going to take this sheet and I'm going to put it under the sheet that I'll be removing. Mrs. Jones, are you comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay, we're almost finished, Mrs. Jones. And I'm holding this again with my body so it doesn't get away from me. I'm going to move you a little, Mrs. Jones. Just want to get this sheet under the sheet I'll be removing. Okay, Mrs. Jones, are you comfortable?
No.
Okay, Mrs. Jones, look what I'm doing with this. I'm holding, I'm not like this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm holding it like this because on the count of three, Mrs. Jones, I'm going to ask you to turn all the way onto your left side. I'm not saying turn. I'm telling you to turn all the way onto her left side. Mrs. Jones, when you turn, you'll be feeling a little bump. But don't worry, that's just the sheets beneath you. Are you ready, Mrs. Jones?
No.
1, 2, 3. You're going to come all the way over, Deshawn. Okay, great. Let me can you pick up your head? Good. Okay. Let me pick up this side rail so I know that you're nice and safe. Okay, Mrs. Jones, are you comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm coming now with what? My flat sheet. I'm coming to this side of the bed and I'm going to just give this a little tug. And now I am going to take down this side rail. Please know, you never ever work over a side rail. That side rail has to come down. If you think that the patient is not stable and they're afraid, oh, I need the side rail up, get another CNA to come in and stand on the other side with the person. If there's no one around and you have to put that side rail up, then you have to do it. You know, you may have to run back and forth.
Why didn't you do both sheet at the same time?
What do you mean both sheets?
Put this the second before you turn them. You're gonna put the second one, the top one, right?
No, I gotta finish doing the bottom.
Okay.
I'm not finished with the bottom. So I start at the top here, I go to the bottom here, and now what I'm doing is I have to come and see this, ladies. I take this from here, I roll it towards me, this goes away from me, and I roll it down. I take this towards me, away from me, and I roll it down. Towards me, away from me, I roll it down. Towards me, away from me, I roll it down. And that's how you're getting this sheet off the bed. And it's in a ball like this. If I didn't have a patient in the bed and I were getting the sheets off, I would put the sheets from this side in the middle of the bed, go around to this side of the bed, put it in the middle of the bed and make it into a ball. And it's always rolled away from you, away from you. It would go right into the hamper. Okay, I'm just putting this down for now. Now what am I doing? I'm going to start again at the top of the bed. Sheet there. No wrinkles, no wrinkles. They don't want to see wrinkles. So I'm going to give it a good tug. Okay, Mrs. Jones, we are almost done. What I'd like you to do next, Mrs. Jones, is I'm going to hold this sheet up and I want you to come onto your back on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold this, otherwise she's going to get tangled in it. Okay, I will just quickly take this down. Don't start to roll it while it's on her. You take it down, you roll it away from you, and it goes into the hamper. I'm going to quickly put this on you. I don't want you to be cold. The middle of this sheet is not folded properly, but if this sheet were folded properly and you opened it up, the line here would go in the middle of the bed between these 2 lines, so you know you have an even amount on either side. But this sheet is not folded properly. So I have to fold it. Just don't go like this up in the air. Don't do that. Are you comfortable, Mrs. Jones? I want to get you nice and warm, Mrs. Jones. I think I'm going to have to turn this around a little. Okay. Here we are. Here we are, Mrs. Jones. Almost done, almost done. I don't care about all this now. All I care about is getting Mrs. Jones a nice cuff on her sheet. It's between 6 and 9 inches from the top of the bed that fold should be. Okay, Mrs. Jones, I am going to make some nice hospital corners for you. This is the way I'm making the hospital corner. My left hand is going under the mattress, but it's not going under the mattress holding this sheet. The top sheet is up, my hand goes under the mattress. I then take the bottom of this sheet and I put my hand, can everybody see this? Can you see this, ladies? In the middle of the bed, and I pull this real tight and I drop it down. I now take this sheet here, make a little fold. Don't pick this mattress up too high, the sheets will come out. And I just put this under. And I have a nice hospital corner. Now I'm coming to this side. And I am again, my hand is going under the mattress. My left hand is going under the mattress in the middle. I'm giving it a good tug like a military bed. And I'm going to make a nice hospital corner. When I talk to you about the toe pleat, do you understand what I'm saying now? Look how tight, uncross your legs, honey. Look how tight this is. If I left this, I could do damage to the top of her toes. And if I keep leaving it like this, she can get foot drops, she'll never walk again. That started to happen to Beatrice. Eldora is the one that found out what was going on. Beatrice was in a rehab. And Eldora called me one day. She said, I noticed the top of the toes were reddened. She said, so I came in early one day and I saw they were making the bed. That's how great HHA, she knew. And she went in early to watch. She had a suspicion what was happening, but of course nobody would admit it. They'd say, no, she's fine, we don't have her. But anyway, she saw how tight the sheets were. And Eldora saved her from having problems. So, we don't want this to stay like this. And is this a form of restraint?
Yes.
Yes, yes. So now, Mrs. Jones, I'm gonna take your sheet, I'm just gonna pinch it, and from the bottom, I'm gonna pull the sheet towards you. Mrs. Jones, this is called making a toe pleat. Can you wiggle your toes for me? Have I fixed the problem?
Yes.
Great. Okay, Mrs. Jones, last but not least, we're going to get a nice pillowcase on your pillow. I'm gonna put it here, I can put it here on the bed. I'm going to put my hands to open the pillow. This you can practice at home, ladies and gentlemen. And for you fellows who don't make your beds, make the beds down. Okay. I put this down. Mrs. Jones, on the count of 3, I'm gonna help you raise your shoulders and your head. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you can lower your head now. I take this away from her. And here I turn it inside out. If you don't get it inside out, ladies, don't worry about it. And I put it into the hamper. Now, if I ever showed you the way that I had to learn how to put a pillow into a pillowcase, you had to be maybe not a full genius, but 3/4 of a genius, because the way they had it was so cumbersome that your hands were getting all mixed up. This is the way you put the pillow in the pillowcase. You look for the tag or the zipper. When you find it, you make a V. See that V? You put it into the pillowcase, let it open up, and you have a nice pillowcase. Okay, Mrs. Jones, on the count of 3, I'm gonna ask you to raise your head and shoulders. 1, 2, 3. I put this under her shoulders and her head. Are you comfortable, Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, we're finished. I made your bed. Can you pick up your arm a minute? Are you feeling comfortable? Does that feel good?
Yes.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Okay. While I'm here, I might as well put your call bell here. Mrs. Jones, what I'm going to do next is I want you to be comfortable. So I'm going to raise the head of your bed. And now I'm going to lower the bed. Mrs. Jones, is there anything that you need while I'm still here in the room? Should you need something once I leave the room, just ring your call bell and someone will come in to assist you. In the meantime, are you comfortable? Okay, wonderful. I heard tomorrow you'll be getting out of bed, so I won't have to make an occupied bed anymore. You have a good day, Mrs. Jones. Let me open the curtains for you, ha ha. I remember. I open the curtains. I walk out of the room, I wash my hands, and I am
Done.
done. That's, I